And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower!
Today I'm talking about a game which I almost think should be in everyone's collections, and it's something you should seriously consider at least playing once, and that is Pitchcar. Pitchcar is a game, it's a dexterity game in which you're flicking your car around tracks. Let me show you a little bit of the game.
Early in the morning I go to the station house, get on my overall jeans, get my hat and favorite bandana on, ready to drive my train, driving my train, driving my train, driving my train, rolling on down the line. We will roll when the day is bright and sunny, we roll in the pouring rain.
Pitchcar is made up of only a few components, but they're nice ones. It's made up of good quality wood, and in that wood you're going to be putting these red plastic bendable barriers that slide into the wood to form barriers as you make your racetrack. Now these barriers used to, in the first edition as a Pitchcar, popped out fairly easily. In the newer editions they stay in pretty well, but in most of my pieces I have put them in with cement to keep them in place firmly. Of course, the disadvantage to doing that, even though it speeds up time, means I can no longer carry the game in this box. Instead, I carry it in this large purple container, which is fairly hefty. The basic set comes with straights and curves, and the straights and curves fit together like puzzle pieces. And so you can form all kinds of tracks with these puzzle pieces as you're making the game. Now, Pitchcar itself is a direct descendant of a game called Carabande. And Carabande they're basically the exact same game. However, unfortunately, the curves and all the pieces from Carabande and all the pieces from Pitchcar, the puzzle pieces do not match. They use a different cut. It's one of the biggest disappointments in my gaming life anyway. I still don't know why they did that. But with some jury rigging, you can put them together. But if you buy Pitchcar and several expansions, you can make some pretty neat tracks. In fact, you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Pitchcar to make giant tracks. Let's look at some of the tracks you can make. Players are basically using these cars to move around the board. On your turn, you are flicking your piece. Now, the rules don't say exactly how to flick your piece. Most people, I guess, use the thumb and middle finger there to shoot it like that, or the thumb and first finger. I usually flip mine like this, but there's really not much of a rule. Now that you can show how you flip, there's really not much of a rule other than the fact that you really can't push it. You actually have to flip it. And there's different ways that you can set up to see who goes first. But basically, once the game gets started, each turn, the player that's in the first position, this player here is in the lead, gets the first shot. They get to go first, then this person, then the next person. Whenever you go off the track, you basically go back to where you started, and then next turn you go. You have to basically wait till everyone else goes before you can go again. If your car ever flips over on the track, like this, your next turn basically just consists of you flipping the car back over, showing an accident. If you knock another player off the track, well, that sounds like fun, sounds good, but actually they come back and you go off the track where you hit them. And that's basically it. The rules are very simple. You can make some advanced point scoring systems, but other than that, the game basically comes down to how well people shoot. Now, there is the chance, as people are playing, that you can see these puzzle pieces might not fit so well together, especially if you're using multiple tables to hold them. Some people suggest using cards to boost up one side or coins, but you have to realize that that's a real possibility. Other people put carom powder down on the track to make it even smoother as you shoot them down. But a lot of it depends on the rails. As you can see here, there's a rail going straight down this straightaway, which allows the car to hug this rail. But let's say we mix things up and change it around like this. At this point, players are not going to be able to come hug this rail. They'll go right off the track. But they may be able to do some kind of bounce off one, hit the other track. And when you get to curves, of course, curves are going to be where you really do need the railing. As you come around that curve, if there's nothing there to help keep you on, you'll go right off the track. Now, carabiners can be fun for different people in many different ways. Some people are going to want a track that they can just fly around, a track that they can hit and just hit every corner and go straight around. And if that's the way you are, then you're going to want just a base set, maybe 2 of them, to make yourself a nice fast track. You're also going to want to find a big table that can hold the whole track, because when you use multiple tables, that speed that is just not going to be there. And it has a different feel, almost a Formula Day feel, as opposed to some off-road racing. And that's when you start doing other things, like, for example, making difficult tracks and curves, taking out these plastic barriers at different points along the track, adding in the expansions that include a jump, a tunnel, a second level. And once you start adding in all those other things, at that point, the gameplay slows down dramatically, because you'll see people going off the board quite a bit. And some people like that. Some people like the fact that even if someone's way in the lead, they have a chance to catch back up. Which brings an interesting feature of the game, is those super trick shots. And that's basically when I flick the disc and it bounces off the camera, over here, off my head, off Melody's head, and all the way onto the track. Every once in a while, these fantastically great shots will be accomplished. Everyone cheers. What a neat thing that was. But the rules do state that you can only skip a few pieces of track when doing so. Otherwise, people will deliberately try to shoot those shots because, hey, yeah, you only get lucky 1 out of 50 times doing that, but hey, if you do, you won the race. And so I see that to be a problem. There's also variants where you can knock other people's cars off, but that gets really nasty really fast. What makes Pitchcar great here is that it can go up to 10 players, and if you buy 2 sets and you mix and match the stickers, you see this one has a black sticker on a pink car. You could put the red sticker on the pink car from the other set. Then you could have 20 players playing. I've not played with 20 before, but I have played 18 on one of these before, and that's a lot of players. Another great thing is it's really well and fun, well balanced and fun between different ages. Melody and I can play, and I have an edge because I play a whole lot more than she does, but at least she can come up on the table and do just as well as I do. And all the kids and adults and teenagers, this is a great thing. The only disadvantage for me at this point is because I own so much of it, it's a heavy thing, so it's not something I can quickly carry anywhere. But I do bring it to any large function, to any huge party gathering, and there it does see a lot of use. So, Pitchcar, a fantastic game, and I really think you should try it out.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.